All the other and then I've gotten into saddle hunting, so I everything goes in with me and everything comes back out with me. If I don't like where I'm at, I move to the next spot, and that has worked to my advantage more often than not, because I can think back to one time and that we call him the dick in hand buck. So it's an interesting episode on the podcast. Not to do a shameless plug, but what happened was is I had a plan A idea. This is where I want to go. I'm going to go set up, and typically we would have a tree stand there, right?
Mm.
And so I'm like, I'm going to go to this spot. So I start my way up there, and then like, man, the wind just is not right. I don't like the way the wind's blowing up here. It's just not going to give me the advantage that I think that I need with the idea where I think this deer is going to come from. Well, I had my saddle, I had my climbing sticks with me. So I'm like, I'm going to another spot. So I walked down the ridge a little bit to where the wind was in my favor. And I started the process to climb, but I'm like, man, I got to pee before I put the first stick up. I'm like, man, I better go pee. And so I went back off into off to the edge of the tree line. Well, not the tree line, but almost the edge of the ridge. And the
Right.
wind's blowing from where I think the deer is going to come from to me. So I'm not, the wind's not into factor at this. So I go ahead and do what I got to do. And long story short, the buck comes in, is starting to walk in while I'm finishing up. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I basically crawl back. I finish zip up, crawl back to my tree, grab my bow. He must have had a mission because I swear to all things that this deer had no clue I was there during all of this. Like, and I don't know why, I don't know how. He was just on a mission apparently. But I was able to crawl back to whatever the 10 yards back to my tree, grab my bow, get an arrow off the quiver, knock it, get my release onto the bow, and now I'm just sitting here waiting for the opportunity. And about 20 yards, I stop him, and that's the only time he realizes I was there because he stops and he looks at me. And then I was already on him with ready
Yeah.
to shoot, and so I
Oh, that's
released the
awesome.
arrow. That was it. So we call him the dick in hand buck, but I
There you
understand where
go.
I understand where the idea behind the mobility and how winds, if you're not either going to have a lot of stand location set up, or B, you better be mobile and ready to move and be willing to, because you don't know how effective that is if you just and that wasn't even a big move. It was just enough to get the wind in my favor. And then if I'd have stayed where I was at, I'd have never got that deer because he'd have smelled me and that'd been the end of it.
One of the things that I have learned over probably the past 5 years or so is how much easier hunting is if you're mobile. Because I was old school. You gotta put a food plot here, you gotta put a tree stand on that food plot, you know, you gotta find these trails, you gotta put a lock on right here, that type thing. And I spent a lot of my summer and early fall strategizing, where to put stuff, where to put tree stands, where to put food plots. Now that I'm more mobile, I enjoy hunting more because I literally throw my climber or throw my chair into the back of the UTV and I'm gone. And I don't have a set location. I don't have, I've got ideas where I've seen deer on camera and where I've seen sign and that type thing. But I don't feel as burdened in my hunting process because I'm so mobile now. I'm able to go different areas. I think a lot of it is when you a lot of people they try and plan to the nth degree as far as a hunting trip, and it doesn't have to be that hard. There are options. There are options out there as far as equipment and as far as ideas that get you out there easier.